Whoa. It's coffee time. It's coffee time. It's coffee time with Almeida. It's coffee time with Almeida. Oh, welcome back to Coffee Time, folks. Sorry to keep you waiting. Technical difficulties like crazy. I don't know. I moved my computer screen. A hard drive came unplugged. I had to restart. That didn't work. I had to restart. The hard drive came back. You know, this is just the technical, journeys of trying to stream your own show. Yeah, so I'm not going to make you wait much longer. We're going to get to it. I have my friend Michelle Young coming to us from Brooklyn. I was on her show with her last night, Sip Tip Survive. We did some drinking and hanging out. And here she comes. Michelle, what's happening?
Hi, how are you?
I'm awesome. How are you?
I'm feeling amazing. Thank God we held it down last night.
Yeah, we were responsible.
We were responsible, I mean, I think in the beginning, I could tell okay, I have to slow this down a little bit because it was really exciting. But, in the end, it was wonderful. And thank you so much for being on the show.
Oh, my pleasure.
It was great.
My pleasure. So do you do that once a week?
I do it right now, it's starting to seem like every 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. So twice a month.
Nice. That's 3 hours. That's a long time.
3 hours is a long time. So, so it's great to have guests so that you're engaging with other people, because carrying a solo show for 3 hours, it's really difficult.
Oh yeah. There's no way. You'd be like toast. I don't know. It's like having to
right.
hear myself talk for 3 hours. Forget about
right.
it.
Exactly. Exactly.
So,
yeah.
Let's get to it here. So you have you have lived all over. Like you grew up all over the place. So seeing COVID,
I did.
Happening the way it's happening in the U.S. and your where you've come from, your childhood. Can you just talk about that a little bit?
Sure. So I was born in Nairobi, Kenya, by American parents.
Ugh. Shelly. Hey, Shelly, hold on. I don't know if you can hear me, but I gotta have you hold on a second. I lost your audio. Sorry. Can you unmute your audio? I have your audio muted over here for some reason. I don't know why.
And it keeps on popping up.
There you are. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay.
Ooh, there? Okay.
This is like the day.
All right.
This is the day. I've been responsible. Okay, so I need you to start.
This is me last night. It was fine. Don't even worry about it.
You're from, you're born in Kenya.
So my parents are American, and they were working for the United States government, and they were stationed in Nairobi, Kenya. And I was born in Kenya, and then we proceeded to live there for the first 2 years of my life. And then we moved all over the world to the Caribbean, the Middle East, Europe, parts of Africa. And some stints in the United States. And so it was an amazing childhood. I got to see really so much of the world. And, and it's different than visiting. Like, I got to live in these countries and, create friendships and be part of communities. And so finally, when I came back to the United States, it was funny because I had culture shock to my own culture, and it takes a long time to process everything. I think my parents also were very aware that their kids were different than other kids, and that they really needed to get a dose of their own culture. So every summer they would take us to the States to like visit family, and they would just try to show us our roots. My dad's from Savannah, Georgia, so we would go to Georgia. My mom's from Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and actually that's where my parents met. And so, we got a little taste of American culture, but really at that time we felt like we were part of a foreign culture wherever we were living at the time. But my parents wanted us to understand, like, no, you guys are Americans. So like you guys have to really fully understand this. And it wasn't until I left and I went to college that I went to college in Boston that I fully grasped, like, oh, wow. Okay. Interesting. American culture is interesting.
Boston is quite the place to go to. So
you know what? I hated it. I'm not going to lie. It was not fun. It was not fun in terms of, it's just a very racially charged city, especially if you're a woman of color. And so there were a lot of problems that I had to overcome, being a Black woman and just trying to stand my ground, and making people understand who I was, because it's too much a lot of times for just, normal people to be like, wait, I don't get it. You're not Kenyan. Wait, I don't understand. Where are you from? Like, it's so complicated. So the bottom line is, even though it was really difficult and it was really hard, I did have really great friends there. I really did have a great support system there. And I grew up a lot, and I learned a lot about who I was and what I wanted to stand for. And so it was a huge learning curve, but it was absolutely necessary. So I wouldn't have picked a different city.
What years were you there?
Sorry?
What year were you there? What years?
Oh, I was there from 94 to 2000.
Yeah, we overlapped.
Mm-hmm. Really?
Yeah, I was there from 96 to 2001.
That's awesome. Yeah.
That's pretty crazy. So where did you live?
I lived in Alston. I lived on Washington Avenue. I lived on campus. And I lived, what's crazy is that I lived in this house with like a bunch of people, and I don't remember what neighborhood it was. But it was kind of like a neighborhood. Now I realize it was kind of like a neighborhood that was like off the beaten path. But I had a great time in Alston, and I had a great time when I lived on Washington Avenue.
Where did you live in Alston? Do you remember? What years?
Oh my God, I can't. It was like 93 to 94. No, 93 to 94. 92 to 93.
So you were in Alston right before I was in Alston. I was in Alston. I got my first apartment there like 1998. So, but I was.
You got your what, babe?
I got my first apartment in Alston in 1998.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice. Where did you live? What street?
I lived on. Well, first I lived on Alston Street, not Alston Street. Linden Street.
I think I lived on Alston Street.
I lived right by Alston Street. I lived on Comm Ave for a while, across from the CVS and the bottled liquors.
Yeah, I lived. Oh my God, I lived on Comm Ave in Boston, like student housing, but they were like apartments and they were fabulous.
Was our house there when you were there? The little bar on Com Ave in Alston?
There was a little liquor store, and I lived across the street from the liquor store.
Oh, yeah, that's
Yeah, or like it was a Packy store.
Was Great Scott was there when you were there, right?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, they just
It
lost their
was.
lease.
Oh God.
44 years. After 44 years, they just lost their
That's
lease.
insane. That's insane. Whew. Rough times. Rough times.
So tell us about what are you doing? What are you doing these days?
So these days, I'm bartending. Unfortunately, it came to an end. But that's okay. You know, we got creative with it, and that's where the show Sip Tip Survive came from, which is a virtual platform for bartenders, out of work bartenders, to, you know, show off their skills, their expertise, their professional, you know, professionalism, and educate people also about cocktails and the bar and the restaurant industry, and also gather people in, you know, a simulated virtual bar. It's also a way for us to make tips, because we can get tipped via Venmo, so that also helps. And we also, you know, try to support charities, and it's a really amazing platform, and it also brings us back together again. You know, brings that community of bartenders, especially in Brooklyn, back together again, because we are a very close-knit community. But I've been doing that for a very, very long time here in the city. Like I've been living in the city for like, I mean, it's like over 20 years now. And like, literally, I've been in the industry on and off, because there were other industries that I was involved in too. I did interior decorating for a while, and I worked for a travel company for a while. So, you know, but I always went back to it. And in the last, I would say, in the last about, you know, 14 years or so, I stuck with it.
You can hear me a little better now?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right,
Yes.
cool. All right, cool. Well, didn't you work at a place that you're doing to-go cocktails, right?
Yes, I am working right now, just one day a week, at a wonderful bar called Tradesman, and we do to-go cocktails and food. And honestly, like, I didn't know that it would take off the way that it has. I've now seen how like all these other bars are doing it, and it's fantastic. I really hope that they don't stop it. I really hope that they continue allowing, and I think I just read or saw something whereby they want to, you know, they want to continue allowing people to do the to-go windows even after this, you know, we reopen. So I think that would be great, because it would be nice to also incorporate that in bar culture, you know, because bar culture and restaurant culture is going to change profoundly. So
Yeah, and it's like, where do they draw a line? Okay, we're not going to do to-go anymore, but, you know, and it's 2020.
right,
Like the laws that
right.
prohibit us from taking liquor out of places, I understand it for liability reasons, but if we're
Mm-hmm.
doing it responsibly in to-go packaging, it's just
Right.
another source of revenue, and we need every source of revenue we can possibly have right now, right? It just
Absolutely.
makes sense.
Absolutely. It's true. Every city now is going to have to, you know, work to their fullest capacity to get their economies back on track. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
here in Massachusetts, we don't allow to-go booze yet. We have
oh, you
beer and
don't?
wine, not booze.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Ugh. That's terrible, because honestly, it's like it's fantastic, and I really I love the fact that so many bars and restaurants are jumping on that bandwagon here. And so it almost feels like we've reopened a little bit, because if you go down certain avenues where there were a lot of restaurants and bars, people are going and supporting, and they're doing it ritually, you know, and daily. So these bars are making, you know, some money, and I think it's great. We don't want these bars to go away, you know. We want to keep them alive, so we have to support them.
Yeah, we have to, and it's just bars are so important, and I understand that like it takes a little bit of a chunk out of liquor stores, but bars and restaurants are very important to culture.
Absolutely. Well, the liquor stores are making their money,
Yeah,
period.
yeah.
I mean, I don't even think that I personally don't think that they're bothered by that at all. I think that they're doing exceptionally well. Do you know what I
Oh,
mean?
they are. They're killing it right now.
They're killing it right now. So I don't think that they're concerned about, people doing the to go.
Hmm.
It's funny because, I'm a New Orleans girl. Like that's my second city. I absolutely love it. I really worship at the altar of New Orleans. And I always love the fact that you could get a drink and you could get it to go and you could walk in the street with your drink. And I never thought that I would live to see the day when you could do that same thing in New York. You know, I
Yeah.
just I just was like, this will never happen. They'll never do this in my city. I have to go to New Orleans for this. And now look at us. And
Take the
it's funny
pandemic.
because yeah, right. I mean,
Take the pandemic.
yeah. But it's funny to be walking down the street. You take a walk during the day and you see everybody with their to-go cups, and you're like, mm-hmm.
Yeah, you got that cup. It's so funny.
That's not a smoothie.
May May 25th, you can
Mm-hmm.
get recreational marijuana in Massachusetts curbside pickup.
What? Did
But you
you just say
can't
curbside?
curbside.
Are you serious?
Yep. Order on the
Oh,
internet,
honey.
curbside pickup, ganja.
Wow. Yeah. Not New
It's
York yet.
no, it's overpriced though. It's
Oh
overpriced. You
boy.
guys still got you guys still have a better method of getting stuff.
Oh yeah. I mean, you get anything, but it's just the fact, it would be nice if it was legal, right?
Yeah, come on, New York City. I mean, New York City decriminalized marijuana in 1976,
Jesus.
but they were, busting people for it like crazy up until like a couple years ago, right?
Right.
So, depending on who
Yeah.
you were, too.
And the jail sentences weren't cute.
No,
No.
So, hopefully, it just all these old laws are just ridiculous.
Well, but that's what I'm saying, Chris. Like I was saying this last night on my show that I really feel like, we crossed a threshold that we can never go back
Mm-hmm.
to. And so I really feel like we just need to create like a whole new world. I mean, everybody really at this point has to reinvent themselves. And the reason why you have to is because now you always have to prepare for something like this. So whatever
Yeah.
job you have to think to yourself, oh my God, do I have enough savings to get me through something like this if it happens again? What else could I do when something like this happens again? Do you know what I mean? If you
Mm-hmm.
have a family, how are you going to feed your family? Like, so yes, all these laws, these old archaic laws that are holding us back, they absolutely 100% need to be, you know what I mean? Banish it from the books, get out of here and create new ones, create better ones, create healthier ones, because
Yeah.
it's really a brand new society right now.
So I have a bunch of friends who make fermented foods. To legally
Oh,
sell fermented foods, you have to go get all this stuff. You have to have a certified kitchen. No one can do
right,
that right now.
right.
And whether you're going to sell them or barter them, you should be able to do that. And I mean,
Right.
I don't know who's coming down on people making loaves of sourdough and selling them out of their kitchen, but um,
That's a mess. That's a real mess. Like,
I
are
haven't heard
you
anybody
like
getting busted, but
we don't like that, but that shouldn't even be a thing. You know what
it
I'm
shouldn't be
saying?
a
Like
thing.
that's
Yeah.
just crazy. It's
Um,
crazy.
and we have to keep each other safe, but at the same time, we have to survive. And
Right.
let's rely on our skills. And you're in the bar business, you're in the restaurant business, and you're pouring beers and you're pouring shots, and like you do that day in day out, and you're not working on anything else. And then what happens when your bar or your restaurant is either something like this happens, or they just go out of business, or it's not busy, or whatever. I feel like I know a lot of bartenders who have like serious side hustle, and those are the people who are finding a way right now.
Yeah. And you have to, but this is also a time to like learn a new craft.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So, I mean, I have a friend, one of my dear best friends is a TV producer, and has a backyard now, and she's like, I'm growing vegetables.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm like,
Yeah.
great, awesome. You know, because who knows? Who knows what's going to happen in the future? You know, so at least be aware of the fact that this right now is going to stay. It's not going anywhere. You know, so we have to live with it, and you know, how are we going to do that? You know what I mean? And be able to maintain our lifestyles and keep our families safe and healthy.
So you're in an apartment building in Brooklyn, right? What neighborhood are you in?
I am. But I only have upstairs neighbors. That's it.
Oh, nice. What neighborhood are you in?
I'm in Crown Heights now. I used to be in Prospect Heights, but now I'm in Crown Heights.
Nice. I hear it's nice.
Yes,
Yeah,
I'm right on the corner from Franklin Avenue, where I used to work.
Oh, cool. How's
Franklin
Park doing?
Everyone's good, you know. Everyone is really, really good. They're I think on the cusp of trying to get their to-go situation together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
When's the last time you were in Soda?
The last time I was in Soda, probably right before the pandemic, because I have one of my best friends is one of the bartenders there. So I go see him all the time. So I spend time in Soda all the time.
Oh, no, nice. I haven't been there in like a decade.
Yeah, no, I'm like... and Jesse's still there. Jesse Hughes is still there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. But you know, Soda went through, huh?
You see Toley ever?
I did. I just saw Toley right before the pandemic, but I saw him at Franklin Park.
So what were we gonna say about Soda? It went through some changes, probably.
Oh yeah, they were just going through a lot of changes, like in 2019, early 2020. They had lost their license for their backyard for about almost 2 summers. And then they finally got it back. Yeah, you know, drama, because it's like 40% of their business. But yeah. You know, but they're doing really well, you know. And then this hit. Yeah. So, but you know, Soda is a survivor. Mm-hmm. Soda is a survivor.
My mom graffitied the bathroom with her name and.
Did you just say your mom?
Yeah. Yep.
That is awesome. Oh my God.
She went in there.
Soda bathrooms. Soda bathrooms were crazy.
Yeah, those bathrooms are so crazy. You think they're...
And you know they still look the same, Chris, right? Like nothing's changed.
I want to see if my mom's calligraphy name is still in there somewhere.
I know, that is a riot. Yeah, those bathrooms were scandalous. I mean, you thought, you know, we need hand sanitizer now. We needed hand sanitizer back then, okay?
The whole room just needed to sanitize.
Oh, true.
All three of them. All three of them.
All three of them. I remember when, like, I would be, you know, like waitressing, and somebody's kid would be running around, like acting crazy, and I would have to go over to the family and be like, I'm sorry, but like, do you mind, like, if you can just like watch your kid, because like I have a tray full of beers, like I don't want to spill it on your kid's head. And you know, the parents were always just like, whatever, you know what I mean? But then like you would see the kid running around and like jumping on the sofas, and like sometimes the kids would be pulling their diapers off and like on the sofas, and all kinds of things happened in that back room. And I just
like the night before.
Oh my! What'd you say?
Like the night before, you're like, I don't know who was sitting on that couch or what they were doing, but
God, the things that we saw happen on that couch, and I was like, oh my God, no.
I was working a Sunday morning one time. We had like one of these stupid kid parties like scheduled. You remember those?
Oh.
And all the moms wanted mimosas, so I'm like walking out with a tray with mimosas on this tray, and a kid walks into me, and it's like, you know, it's either gonna go on the kid or it's gonna go on me. It was like bloop.
Right.
All over me. Oh yeah.
Yeah. You're like, hey, welcome to the party.
Oh my God. I used to be in there sometimes. I usually do an inventory where they were doing like some like circle time stuff in the lounge on the weekday morning sometimes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There was some special things going on in there. I remember lots of Windex afterwards.
You haven't seen Alfred around, have you?
Oh yeah, I talked to Alfred the other day. I have to go see him.
Oh shit! Tell him I
He's
said hi. Give him a hug and kiss for me
hilarious.
when you can.
I will. He is so funny. Why does Alfred have a massive supply of Clorox wipes?
He probably has a bunch of masks too. I bet.
He is so funny. So yeah, I have to go over to his house actually. I'm gonna grab some wipes.
Does he have the same number?
He has the same number and he lives in the same apartment.
Oh shit! All right, I'm gonna call him up later.
Give him a call. He would love it.
Oh,
He would absolutely love it.
Oh man, I miss
Yeah,
everybody so much. It's crazy. I didn't really
I
think
know.
about it, and then like I talk to you guys, I'm like, oh.
Yeah, everyone's good, babe. Honestly, like I saw Brendan before the pandemic. I would say maybe I want to say 2 to 3 months before the pandemic. No. I think it might have been around Christmas time. Yes.
Does he live in
So
Brooklyn
I saw
still? I thought he
Brendan and
left
I
Brooklyn.
huh?
Does Brendan still live in Brooklyn?
I think he told me he moved back or something crazy.
Oh.
I'm not sure. I can't remember what he told me. But yeah, he's doing great. He's doing wonderful. Chippy's doing great. Chippy has a big farm.
Oh, yeah, I was
Yeah.
just thinking about Chippy as you were speaking.
Oh
I
yeah,
followed
Chippy
him
has a big farm
on the
in
Instagram, the
Baltimore.
Facebook.
Yes,
Yeah.
he's doing exceptionally well.
I should
And
get
he
him on the
comes to
show.
visit and we hang out and he's the same beautiful human being.
Yeah, I've been meaning to call him up and see if he wants to come on the show.
Chippy would be amazing.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit him up today.
Chippy would be amazing. Chippy is like such a phenomenal human being. I don't know if you saw this at all on Facebook, but his son became a reporter.
No.
And did a story on him. So it was really great because the son got to interview his dad.
Oh, that's
and
awesome.
I'm not too sure people knew that the reporter and the person he was interviewing were father and son, except for people who knew them.
Mm-hmm.
It was great.
Yeah, they're doing some really incredible stuff down there with that urban gardens.
Mm-hmm.
It's insane.
Yes. Chippy will survive.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Chippy will be good. Chippy knows what he's doing.
Yeah, I've seen Ari traveling all over the place. He goes down there and visits them.
Yes, he does. He goes to see Chippy all the time. Yeah. I know.
Hopefully one day I'll be able to make some travels and when this whole
You're welcome. You've got carte blanche, babe. You come to Brooklyn and all the doors will fly open.
So I'm afraid of.
Seriously, it would be amazing. It would be amazing. It'd be great. And you'd also get to see some of the spots that, you didn't get to see open up and, thrive.
There's a whole bunch. Like I haven't seen the Crown Inn yet. I haven't seen Livingston.
Oh yeah, and the Crown is a crown jewel. It's amazing. It's fantastic.
And I haven't been to the spot that opened at Woodwork yet. How long's that been there?
Oh, Built Bar? Yeah, and I work at Built Bar. It's only been open since September. No, August of 2019.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and Lainey owns it. Do you remember Lainey?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Lainey owns it.
Wow, good for her.
Yes.
That's awesome.
And she's a great boss. She's amazing.
Yeah, I definitely have to go hang out there. Yeah,
it's super cool. It really is. It's a little bit more light and airier than Woodwork, and it's just a great like chill out bar. It's still got the TV screens and it still has like that sports bar kind of vibe, but at the same time, it also has like that, I could go here on a date.
Oh, sure.
Right.
Hey, people went on dates at Woodwork all the time.
Yes, they did. I know. I just always thought of it as a sports bar, and I was just like, sports bars aren't really my thing. Like hardcore sports bars. But I'm sorry.
Have you met me? I hate sports.
Oh, I know. You like soccer, though, don't you?
No.
Not at all?
Not at all.
Oh, wow. I like soccer. I like basketball and I like soccer.
But isn't that hilarious that I I worked at
Yes.
Woodwork for so long, and I did not even
Yes.
give a shit about sports.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Have you spoken to the old owners? Was it Russ?
Yeah, Ross and I touched base about a year ago. Maddie and I, we every 6 months we text back and forth probably.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's like I'm loosely. I talk to you guys more than I talk to them.
Right.
Yeah,
But
you know.
that's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, we're a very small community, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
And it's nice to be able to ask somebody about someone else. Do
Oh
you know
hell
what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
It's so great that, we can do that we have that luxury.
yeah. Ross is living
And
in New Jersey. He's got two daughters,
right,
I believe
with his
now.
family.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then Maddie got married in Newport, Rhode Island. Believe it or not.
Oh, did he really? I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, so he's actually been to Newport like 2 or 3 times, and I still haven't bumped into him down there. And we have mutual friends down there now too. So, well, I'm sure
Wow.
we'll see each other at some point.
Right. Were you also friends with Lulu?
Oh yeah, and Lulu is from Newport,
Yeah, she is.
and actually so funny because a good friend of mine, Frank Martucci, who's going to be on the show next week, he actually might be watching or listening right now. He grew up with Lulu.
What?
Yep, and I met
No
him when I
way.
moved to Rhode
I,
Island after I left New York.
are you serious?
Uh huh.
Lulu at, did I see Lulu? Yeah, I saw Lulu at Lainey's wedding at Built Bar.
Oh wow.
Yes, and that was in, Lainey's wedding was in, I think, October.
Ah. Yep.
I think it was in October, and it was at the bar. It was beautiful. Um, and yeah, Lulu's doing great. She's wonderful. She's still in the life. She's a bartender at like some huge club in Williamsburg.
Oh yeah, I've
And
caught her on the. We talk every now and then too.
yeah, yeah, she's fantastic. Her grandfather used to own a hotel in Newport, Rhode Island.
Oh wow, yeah. I feel like her family's ingrained into the Newport culture.
Yes, but what's crazy is that she gave me a piece from his hotel, which is this beautiful, like organically cut, like wooden, like stool. I use it as a coffee table because it's fabulous. But yeah, she gave it to me. She like gave me like an heirloom
That's amazing.
because that's
Very nice,
Lulu.
generous lady.
Lulu's just like, take it, it's
Yeah.
yours.
Oh yeah.
He's fantastic.
Well, hey, I'm gonna let you go. Do you have any? What are you looking forward to the next couple weeks?
Next couple weeks, I'm going to do more shows. I don't know exactly what my theme's going to be, but I want everyone to tune in and give me their little nuggets of wisdom, and kick it and make cocktails together and communicate, how we're all feeling and just create an amazing community of people that appreciate one another.
Oh yeah.
So, everybody come check out Sip Tip Survive on IG. I will keep you posted. I'm Gold Home NYC on IG, and follow me, and you can. I'll let you know when I'm having another show, and hopefully Chris will be my guest again.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, whenever you want. Whenever you want to see me.
One more time, Chris, instead of you having such a short segment, like we can do a longer segment.
We did an hour. That was good. But I'll whatever you want.
Okay. Because you got the skills, and I love the fact that you made those 2 cocktails yesterday, and they looked amazing.
Thanks. I didn't drink for like 2 weeks, so I was like, woo.
You were a little loopy?
A little bit. I think I fell asleep on the couch. I don't quite remember.
Right. I always tell people, eat a big meal before you see my show.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Eat, and hydrate. Yes.
Right. What do you got in that cup?
This is coffee.
Nice. I got a little bit of coffee here.
Yes.
Coffee.
Yes. Cheers.
Cheers. All right. Hey, just chill out there for a minute. I'm with everybody, and I'll be right back.
Absolutely. Thank you. Bye, guys.
Shelly, thank you so much. I'll just give me a sec. I'll be right back.
Absolutely.
Oop. Whoops, I don't even know what I'm doing over here. All right, yeah, folks. Thank you so much for tuning into Coffee Time with Almeida here. Again, today, this is our 30th show, or my 30th show, or whatever you want to call it. It's Coffee Time's 30th show. Not without technical difficulties, but I'm getting better at it, and then, sometimes things just work perfect, and sometimes they don't. But, it's the life we're living in these days, right? It's computer issue stuff, and, just keeping safe and making sure our computers aren't crowded. I'm just babbling blah, 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 blah. So it's Memorial Day weekend. Can you guys believe it? It's already Memorial Day weekend. What are you guys going to do? If you're in Plymouth, go to the Tasty, pick up some to-go. You can also get some cool pantry items that you can cook up on your own if you like. We're also selling bottles of beer, bottles of wine, and Neil will be answering the phones all day long. I don't have the phone number memorized. I've worked here for 3 years. I have no idea how to get in touch with them. It's just my auto dial. But go to thetastyplymouth.com, get the phone number there, look at the menu. You can go to our Facebook, you can go to our Instagram, blah, blah, blah. But you should do it. It's definitely very tasty. Yeah, that never gets old. Anyways, folks, I'm just going to leave you with my little outro song, and have a great weekend. Be safe. Maintain that social distancing. I'm sure everybody will be at cookouts this weekend, but wear your mask, keep your friends safe. Don't do anything stupid, and only break one lot at a time. All right, folks, I will see you on Monday.